don't project.
What did you say?
You don't hate.
Oh, I don't hate?
Never feel hate. We never know.
Oh, I don't feel hate. I try to neurolinguistically program and emphasize love, 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 L-O-V-E, 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 red, 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 love, 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 love. Like I'm trying to emphasize
Right?
it.
No, I get it. I get it. I do the same thing. In a different way, but I do the same thing. Because social media, the planet, I mean, we all need it. Could you imagine how wonderful this planet would be if everyone just thought love versus whatever else that they think of?
I was reading about Mahatma Gandhi and how he used love to conquer the British military-industrial complex. And it was all through love. It was love magic. And the word Mahatma means magician. So he was the magician of love. And that's what Hermes is. Because communication conducted and created, which is not in love, is not powerful. So if you want powerful information technology, it has to be based in love. Which emanates from within. So if you really have love in that little heart of yours, you're always going to be successful. You're always going to win. You're always going to do better than the guy to your left and to your right. Because
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is your knowledge, what's your awareness of incarnation?
It's just the incarnate. That's what's happening now. You're alive.
Right. But let me ask you a better question. Do you believe that there is a possibility, or however you look at it, do you believe that you have lived before any times, possibly millions of times, and you will live possibly millions of times after this life? Not necessarily on this planet.
Well, see, this is the power of the brain where if you wanted to run a simulation through a meditation on past lives and just LARP different identities, I would refer you just to these things called, backwards it's called KOOB. This is called a book, forwards. So through a book, you can live past lives now. So technically you're correct. But my way of doing it is really no different than what you're suggesting. Meaning that if you read Caesar's war commentaries, be Caesar. Thou art Caesar. Caesar wrote that in a book. It's a software program. So, I mean, if there is past lives, you can live the past lives now, right now. And you can do that by getting their book. Just imagine taking a person's personality and putting it into your hardware. That's what one of these great books can do. That's what it is. It's an operating manual. It's a program, and that's why people say, "Oh, the Bible is God's operating manual. It was divine instructions."
You know what I did? I bought my daughter a copy of Marcus Aurelius, and I gave it to her on Easter. And I told her, I said, this man attempted to conquer, pretty much did, the known world.
See, this is where your own mania comes into play. It's not about conquering.
It does.
No, it's not about conquering the world. It's about conquering self. That's what it's about. It's about.
No, I know that. That's not a fact. Marcus
He didn't
Aurelius
try to conquer the world, Hermes. You don't know the history of this guy. He was a philosopher king. He was not a warlord conquering mongrel. He wasn't like a bad man.
No, I'm not saying he was that. That's not what I'm saying. But the world that he lived in as the emperor of Rome forced him to go into battle.
No,
Take
Hermes.
over the world.
Hermes, it's not true. The story of Marcus Aurelius.
He was in Germanica.
I wars, but he wasn't. The empire was already. Listen, all I'm trying to say is he's like the 5-star general, meaning that
He
history.
was the emperor.
I get it. What I'm trying to tell you is you're trying to. I like your attitude because what you're really implying is we need to make a movie. But what I'm trying to tell you is when he came to power, his wisdom aligned with the situation and politically, but spiritually and in terms of like the height of the empire, in terms of information technology, you could claim that his book is the highest, one of the highest achievements of the Roman Empire. It's essentially the greatest documentation or information
Yeah, because
technology
you can
passed
arguably
down.
say he was the greatest mind of the Roman Empire.
Right. Well, that's the major accomplishment. And so that's the whole thing is it goes back to my point that you can take that software and put it in your hardware. It's a program. Get with the program.
Now, here's one thing that I really admire about Marcus Aurelius is that he was able to motivate and command a million-man army. So that's why I gave the book that Kitover
You
said,
goofball.
this man.
You are such a goofball. You are such a goofball.
So I gave her the book and I said, when you read this book, you're going to be looking into the mind of one of the greatest humans that have ever lived.
So this is another way I would say how to use that book and other books. I would call it stitching or weaving, meaning it's grafting. So pick up that book for 10 minutes a day and graft it into your consciousness. Next day, do it for 10 minutes, grafting, weaving. That's the way to use this software. So tell her that.
Now, I have another question for you. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you believe or think? What's your opinion on wormholes?
It's a black hole, which means it's the anti-sun, and it's I think it's one of those it's like a time portal, meaning that that is the way to get around the universe without using rocket technology and carbon fossil fuels to like propel ourselves. So I think that black hole probe technology, it's like it's impossible because wherever it comes out or wherever it goes into, whether it's like a parallel universe and it's just like a hole into a new universe, um, I don't know if that technology will ever come about, but I think the philosophy behind it in terms of the self, meaning that like our brain technology should technically be able to penetrate the black hole, and I think that a lot of this information that is already outstanding already does that. So I would say that the Tao and the black hole are essentially the same thing. It's part of it, but a black hole is just one thing. So it's not as powerful as a star, as like our star, the sun. So the thing about the sun backwards is, do you know what sun spells backwards?
Uh,
Huh?
Tell me, what do you mean?
What does the sun spell
None.
backwards?
None?
No, sun backwards is nus.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So
That's my bad.
what comes after nus?
I don't know. Tell me.
Said. Nus said.
That's sad. What does that mean?
Nus said. Meaning enough is said. You see the
Oh,
word
enough is said. Okay.
enough is said